Ontario's mining sector is a global leader, and Agnico Eagle is proud to be at its heart. As Canada's largest gold producer, we operate world-class mines like Detour Lake and Macassa, creating thousands of jobs and driving billions in economic activity. But our impact goes beyond production. We foster a culture of the heart, investing in communities, supporting social development, and partnering with Indigenous groups to build lasting relationships and shared prosperity. We're shaping a future where Ontario remains a powerhouse in responsible resource development, strengthening the economy and enriching lives for generations to come.
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Come on into Montana's, where there is a deal every day. Why not try half-price wings Mondays, $5 tacos Tuesdays, all-you-can-eat ribs Wednesdays, $25.99 platters Thursdays, and drink deals every day. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome to North Bay, Ontario, host to the Northern Ontario Provincial Qualifier, men's and women's bracket. This evening, we have the pleasure of watching Krista Scharf versus Abby Deschene. One a very prominent team and one an up-and-coming team. This should be an excellent match. My name is Gord Copperthorne. I'll be bringing you all the excitement and action this evening. You can see here that, that would be Krista Scharf's team throwing first by the looks of it, so kudos to the young Deschene team for taking hammer to start the match. Starting off right away with a guard. No point. Oh, trying to get in the house. All right. Managed to sneak it in. Play for a nice, clean, simple first end. Already making it interesting because they could end up with a guard with a nose hit. Kind of a sneaky little spot for a rock, but in true fashion, let's go for a clean first end. Up and down the sheet. So, for anybody who may be not up to speed on things, Abby Deschene, they're from Northern Ontario. I believe it's the Brampton area, or North Bay, something along those lines. Anyways, so it's Abby Deschene skipping the team, Mackenzie Daly playing third, Mia Toner at second, and Emma Akers throwing lead rocks for Team Deschene. And then over on the other side, Krista Scharf team. Some of you may also see it as Krista McCarville. Yep, Krista Scharf. Third, Kendra Lilly. Second, Ashley Sipple. And lead, Sarah Potts. All right, first in. A little bit of a mistake on the red side of the equation, but that first rock was pretty high in the house. Not too particularly dangerous. Does kind of take an early blank plan out of it, but that's all right. That was a sneaky attempt at a tap. The guard stays out front, so they can't hit it yet. Probably would have preferred to have pushed that at least into the 8-foot. But hey, we're getting action right off the hop. So this is going to come around, try to get it into the, let's say top 4, bite the top 4 somewhere in there. Keep a little bit of distance because that blue pair is a pretty easy run back. Solid shot, a bit wide open, so look for a hit and roll. Krista electing for roll away. No reason to get too cute around the center. The initial reaction would be hit and roll under, but hit and roll away is a very simple way to set up a force as well. Early end, giving up 1 is a good play. Walking it over. Not a huge roll away, so the hit and roll under is certainly available. Peeling the guards is now available as well. Bit of a, what's your style question there? The peeling the front 2 is the cleanest approach. Keep it to a plus or minus 1. Hit and roll under. So you maybe generate a 2. Hiding behind 2 of your opponent's rocks tight to the house is a bit of a strong risk. It's got a long way to go. You can see here as well that Team Deschene seemed to be a little bit short-handed. Can't tell right now which player is absent, but we'll see if we can't figure it out. So hit and roll out opens a big door for Team Scharf. Get this one wrapped around, at least half buried, and you get a lot of pressure going on the young Deschene team. On and off, on and off. It's got to be pretty close. Curl's coming along nicely. Looks a hair light. Just a bit soft on the sweep. If they'd have went end to end, that would have been a brilliant shot. But, you know what? Getting a little too much going on at the front. So, good time to clean up. You might even get your shooter to roll onto the edge of this house if it gets a bit thick. Just some choices. Get 2 blues moving. There's 1, 2. Ooh, get all 3 going. Well, that's a pretty good outcome. Nothing in the front. 1 blue deep in the house. Does give Krista a simple opportunity to split the house and set up a force. But being forced 1 when you're in the first end and you got the whole 8-foot to play with, that's not the end of the world. Just pretend they had hammer. Alright. Looking to split the house. No good way to set up a steal here, so keep your rocks spread out as far as you can. It's a surefire way to make a force. Now, something very important to always remember, rocks going inside out early in the game will always run a little bit heavier. So good job on the sweepers and the throwers to make sure that got into the house. Part of the thinking there is when you do your pregame practice, everything's outside in, outside in, outside in, and you wear down the path and you get a nice clean run. When you switch to inside out, it's still really fresh ice. So you're going to have usually about a quarter or a third of a second slower. Nice. Good on them. Did leave a chance at a double, so hit this top blue and roll towards the... Hit the top blue. That's unfortunate. Hard to say if that was a ice or a throwing mistake, but in principle, hit and roll towards the other one and good things come of it. All right, Krista looking to improve the pressure, maybe generate a chance at a steal. I assume she's tapping hers up to the edge of the 4-foot, cut down the scoring space. Looks a hair light. This is going to be closer to a freeze, or oh, we're going up to a guard now. Sliding a little bit. That doesn't fundamentally change much. The double still hits and rolls towards the other blue, so we can call that an exchange of mistakes. All right, attempt number 2, I'd hit the front ones and roll towards the other blue. In front of it, run into it, anything over there to try to get away out of this end with a blank. This one's going to be a bit thick. All right, bang. Ooh, ooh. Oh, so close. Just a hair too thick on that play. But 2 blues in the corner. Just a whisker thinner, and they make that crosshouse triple. That would have been a gem for a first end. That was Mackenzie Daly. Just so close. Too thin for a hit and roll, too thick for the triple. All right. Krista most likely looking to split the house again. Even with the other blue, other side of the house, and you're pretty much guaranteed to have somebody put a point on the board. Sweep was running early. This is the 3rd rock down this path, so it should run nicely. Perhaps a little excited. All right, there it goes. Nicely done. All right, so there's that split house with no opportunity for a double. Abby deciding her best chance at a 2 is to freeze that one. Certainly not a bad plan. Also, if you make the freeze fairly well, when Krista goes after it, she may end up doubling those out and rolling her shooter out, and then the blank on the other side comes into play. So, good call here. Now, rock number 4 down this path. We have a good read on it. Little inside out. Sweeper is saying heavy. Hopefully that path is a little stickier. Not looking promising. Abby just a little strong on that with an inside out release, and comes away with a backhouse biter, which is pretty much not going to come into play, unfortunately. So Krista's now basically saying, where's the best spot to put this to make it harder on Deschene? You could put it a little bit off center. They're tapping kind of around the edge of red path. The theory there being that was the draw to the button path. You can cut that off, but they got both sides available. So at the end of the day, the idea here is to be just short of the 4 foot, so a nose hit would leave you second shot, forcing you to draw around it. It's basically just cut down the scoring area and force a good draw. Now, if she does slide this a little deep, then Deschene has the choice of hit or draw. So you can see by Kendra or Lily there, they just want it, call it halfway into the 8 foot. Got to work to get it there. It's going to be close. Nicely judged. Right about where they tapped, halfway in the 8 foot. So now you can see a nose hit would be second shot. So you could play hit and roll off of the side one. You could play draw to the 4 foot. Having just tried the draw and not executed it really well, she's probably thinking now, hey, this is more comfortable. To each their own. So they signaled hit and roll. They got the broom right in the dead middle. That says this is probably going to be normal with a bit of a pop release. Let's see what we get. Solid weight. Definitely a pop in her release. Plenty of rotation. Emma Akers keeping the brush on it. There's your hit. There's your roll. Nicely done. Score 1 for red. That's 1-0 Deschene. We'll be right back.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
There's just something about this place. There's a beauty that you really have to experience for yourself. It's a perfect place to escape, all while staying connected. From one season to the next, you'll find exactly what you're looking for here. This is North Bay, and you should be here.
Come on into Montana's, where there's a deal every day. Why not try half-price wings Mondays, $5 tacos Tuesdays, all-you-can-eat ribs Wednesdays, $25.99 platters Thursdays, and drink deals every day. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to North Bay, Ontario, this year's host of the Northern Ontario Provincial Qualifier. My name is Gord Copperthorne. I'm happy to be bringing this game to you live on Curling Stadium. I'm very glad you could join us this evening. Hope you enjoy yourself. If you like it, great. If you don't, happy to hear comments. I'm always happy to hear how people are doing this evening. One end in the bank. There was a few guffaws in there, a few misses, but managed. Deschene kept their wits about them and got a nice opportunity and was forced to one, but hey, could have been worse. Going into end 2, we see Krista Scharf electing to throw up the corner guard. I'm just checking to see what happened with Red's first one. Have he come back from break? It would appear that the first one ended up in the corner. Oh, yep, there it is. Unfortunate mistake. Second one, top house. Also an unfortunate mistake. Krista Scharf is no fan to being patient and cautious. She's perfectly happy having blanked ends, so she'll go after this one. Play a hit and roll, try to get it under the corner, but at the very least, keep the rock count down. It's kind of their general comfort zone. I'm sure many of you have seen Krista over all the years, and she tends not to overplay a strategy. Little bit of a oops there. Catching a piece, but not enough, so bit of a forced rock over there. Maybe that comes into play later and making Krista take one. See how it plays out. Attempt number 3 at a center guard. So again, Deschene's playing shorthanded this evening, so we know for sure we have Emma Akers playing the first 3 rocks and Abby in the house throwing the last 2. And I'm trying to decide whether Daly or Toner is the one that's missing. I think it's Mackenzie Daly, but we shall keep looking at it. All right, attempt number 3, we've got a good center guard. Krista will probably clear it off, possibly try to catch that other red on the way by. Call it a happy accident. Maybe get another corner guard. Lots of good outcomes. Objective 1, get rid of the guard. This is Ashley Sipple throwing second for Krista. Sarah Potts and Kendra currently on the sweep. Nice little hit and flop. Okay, we got 2 corner guards. That could be handy. Deschene thinking she doesn't love the corner guard plan. Bit interesting, given that there's a red on the other side. But hey, in the face of indecision, getting rid of guards is never a bad thing. She's thinking she can get both of the blues moving, so let's see how we do. Lakers is escorting and watching. Teams don't have a ton of it. All right, there's 1 blue gone. Krista has choices. She can draw underneath of it because she will be shot over the one on the side. She could hit the one on the side if she wanted to be super cautious. Electing for the draw. It's a nice way to set up your chance at 2. Yeah. Committed to defense this end. We'll see if she sticks to it. Sweeper's working to get a little bit more curl out of this rock. Try to get at least a part buried. Well, we can call that one edge on edge, so that's going to make the hit and roll to the open side the obvious call. She could also go up and try to peel the guard, but the guard's not really in the way at this point, so might as well hit the point rock. You would also be high enough up that if Krista tried to draw behind the guard a second time, she wouldn't be shot. Pro side miss here, of course, being hit the guard. Nice soft weight. There's the hit. There's the roll. Still rolling, but sticking around. Krista could choose to go under the guard again. That rock rolled far enough that she could be shot under it. Risk tolerance has been passed, so now she's just gonna hit and roll over in front of the other red. Possibly a catcher on the return hit. Possibly set up a double on the sequence of throws. A lot of weight on this one. Got it real thin. Almost got the double. The original call was hit and roll, but I think she threw a little bit more weight than intended. Deschene sticking with her defense plan, jumping up there to get rid of the other guard. So that's pushing this end towards blank, possibly force. Hit and try to roll this one onto the house. Don't have a ton of this blue one. Not going to be sticking around. But blue guard gone. Objective 1. I suspect Krista will just hit the obvious one. There you go. She could have chose to throw a guard again, knowing Deschene doesn't really want one there. Cycle through some rocks, but looks like she's content to drive towards a blanked end, or maybe hope for an egregious miss. This is Kendra Lily's last rock coming down. Working hard to try to bring it across, get it up to nose. And we stuck around. Good enough. In the house. Abby zipping her way down the sheet. These are timed games. They get, I believe it's 38 minutes for a 10-end game. Still got plenty on the clock each, but no time to waste seconds on obvious things like wide open hits. Try to nose this one. Nice clean throw. Emma keeping it company. Keeping the sheet clean. Hoping it comes up a bit. There you go. Nice hit and stick. Subtle bit of a disadvantage. You would typically see a team call for the curl sweeper in that case to make sure. Can be tricky for someone to flip sides of a rock if they're not accustomed to it. A very traditional mixed doubles habit, flipping sides of the rock, but not everybody learns that. All the same, nose hit. Well done. Krista looking to reciprocate with a nose hit of her own. Everyone's throwing nice, controllable weight. This sheet's not over curling, so you don't have to worry about throwing it through crazy amounts of curl. A little lighter than they may have thought here. Rock removed, blue rolls out. Abby elects to just put it on the button. Practice your draw. Put it in the house somewhere and hope she doesn't roll out. Force of one sort of a scenario. If ever you're going to have a half miss on a rock, that's about as good a choice as you have. So Krista gets away with a bit of a half shot. No harm, no foul. Obviously, you can't set up your two, but even if you made it, Deschene would just be hitting it anyway. All right, let's see if Deschene has turkey power in her pocket. Going for the button. I would say wide and heavy. No turkey dinners this weekend. Makes the blank attempt really easy for Krista. Once again, Deschene getting away with some oops shots without any major punishment. It would have been nice to try to force Krista to hit and roll out for the blank. But if you assume she would have made it, then you kind of go, oops, and carry on. So Krista just putting this one through into the back corner. Escorted down by Ashley and Sarah. And there you go. Put one blank on the board. After two, it's 1-0 Deschene. We'll be right back.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to North Bay, Ontario, host of this year's provincial qualifier. We're watching Abby Deschene versus Krista Scharf here on Curling Zone. Thanks to everybody who's joined us this evening, and thank you to @4C for letting me know that it's actually Mia Toner that's missing this evening. Hopefully it's nothing more than a sniffle or a cough and a break from a game and nothing too serious. So after 2, we had a force of 1 and then a blanked end. This end here, we see that they got the center guard up first, and then they tried to go around it. Didn't quite pull it off. Krista threw up her corner guard, which is her typical pattern. So we got a bit of a biter there. It's a bit of an interesting scenario, because you got to roll this quite well to get it on. And even if you do get it on, it's not going to be in very deep. So it's going to create a bit of potential clutter that Deschene may be able to sneak around. So let's see how this plays out after a few more rocks. Alright, she ends up sticking it there. So that's kind of a fun rock. It makes it a little bit more crowded for the draw game, a little bit of junk in the way, but it's also a very usable, controllable rock for Krista. So I can see that one ending up being very meaningful in 2 or 3 rocks from now. Abby deciding to go through the little port. They've tried it, this is attempt number 2, so they should know the path. Still curling fairly hard. Get it by, come on, come on. Alright, touch 2 and end up in the top 12. I imagine Krista would be just perfectly fine with a nose, a little small roll either way. Chop that port down so they don't go through it again. That's kind of where she landed on. Roll left, roll right. Knows it's fine too. So this is Ashley Sipples first. A simple little throw there. Nothing too carried away. They don't get too lost in the positive float release with 4 rotations. They just all try to throw the same way. Nice and clean and simple. So there you go. Plugged up the middle. Also biting the house. So that's likely going to disappear now. Abby thinking, hit blue, clip back of the red, spin down into the house. Seems a bit thick on the red one, which would actually push their center guard almost over to a corner, which may not be advisable. Perhaps the camera is fooling me a little bit, but I can't really see it coming off the back that clean. It wouldn't be real great to be giving them a corner guard and you sitting wide open, but let's see. Yeah, it's kind of how that played out. Nose hit there probably would have been a little better for them. That double corner is not a great outcome. Krista looking to roll this one underneath. 2 guards. Lots of room in the house to set up a second point. Going with the out turn. So this kind of a turn will actually roll a little bit steeper and require less weight. So this is the preferred way for most people to play this kind of a hit and roll. So they got a big chunk of the rock with not a lot of weight, and they still rolled a long way. So Russ Howard calls that the gearing effect, which is fine. If you go into the side, you'll roll farther and lower. If it had crossed nose, it would have been a flatter roll, but you need more weight to do it. So good choice of turn there. A nice throw by Ashley. So now Abby's looking at this far blue one to basically do the same hit and roll. Just there's a speed water for you. Same kind of hit and roll, just farther and a little lower into the scoring area. So you could end up shot rock under a whole whack of rocks. Or just bounce around all over the place and almost make a double. Perhaps the double is what they were after. Wasn't the way I read their body language, but hey, they almost made it. Unfortunately for them, Krista is sitting shot. Now she's just going to split the house and try the good old-fashioned easy way of scoring too. At some point she could elect to go under that pile of corners, but for now she's just going to play it safe. Go over to the open side and try to trade hits for a few rocks. Stay away from that other blue one. Don't create a double. Sweeper's deciding to watch this one. So we're going to be deep in the house for sure. Going to be deep in the house. Not so much. That's an unfortunate error. Most of that blue is visible, so Abby's probably going to go after it on the outside. Mackenzie saying, yeah, I got about 3/4 of it. These can be dangerous throws way out there with weight, but at this point in the Bonspiel, they should have seen enough rocks to have a comfortable idea whether it'll be straight or fall or curl. I'm on it early, trying to hold the line. And dunk! Alright, well, I guess at least there's less of a corner guard, and it's now wide open. Hard to say whether that was a curly spot in the ice or just a bit inside. Given the early sweep, I'm going to go on the side of a bit of a narrow slide. Alright, Krista trying again to split the house. Sweepers like this one more than the last. On off is always a good sign. Looking to be about even with the other one. Right on the tee line. There you go. A little past it. Nose hit coming along here. Now the win for Deschene is, in this case, you can pretty much get away with anything that resembles a hit. Even if you rolled out, not the end of the world, because then she would just draw back over there, sort of a thing. It's unlikely she would try to draw under the guards, and even if she did, you could hit the other wide open blue. So, you got some room here. They're debating about hitting the other blue because you can roll under the guard and be shot. You'd be close for sure. Depends how far you roll. This is a better choice over the other one with the positive potential outcome of rolling under the guards. Looks close. Whoop. Little thin, actually. That was a bit of a sweeping error. Does manage to stick around in the house, but sitting second, so Krista will probably just wrap this in around those guards. She could hit the red one, but there's not a lot of reason to, so long as you can trust your draw weight. Wrap this around the guard. You can expect Abby to go after the wide open blue, and that's your score of 2 if everything plays to plan. Alright, in-turn draw under the corner guards. Something higher than the tee line so you don't give them a freebie freeze or some get out of jail free card. Probably too early in the game for them to attempt that, but hey, you don't even need to give them the choice. Sweeper's looking like they think it's a bit heavy. I got 15-2. It's going to be wide open. Wide open back 12. There is a double takeout available. Might as well take a shot at it. As long as you hit one blue, then the worst you can do is give up two. Nosing it, you're probably going to give up two, so no harm in trying the double. Pretty textbook, roughly third of a rock, double takeout. This, as kind of I was saying before, you're going to cross the face. So this is the flatter roll, which is what you're usually after on this kind of a double. Normal takeout, cross the nose, flat roll double. Or she's going with the steeper roll double and a bit of a pop release. That's not a ton of ice for this particular choice. All right, a little too thin, but the blue rock left. So objective one met. It was a bit of an overthrow in my book. The double takeout didn't require peel, so it was more about, you know, if I was the coach, I'd say pick the weight you could throw cleanly. That one seemed a bit overthrown. But hey, blue rock left. Krista can now throw basically the exact same draw to try to score her two. Sweepers are on this one a lot faster. Looking up but staying on it. Got a long way to go. Come on, girls, get it there. I got 15-8. Ooh, keep going, keep going. There you go. Good sweep. That's 2 on the board for blue and a 2-1 lead for Scharf. We'll be right back.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate.
Surrounded by beauty on every side, this is a place where you can get away from it all, or be right there in the center of everything. Arts, sports, entertainment, a vibrant culture. This is North Bay, and it is exactly where I want to be.
Welcome back, curling fans. We are rolling along here into the fourth end. It is Krista Scharf versus Abby Deschene here on a cool Wednesday evening. This is the Northern Ontario Provincial Qualifier out of North Bay, Ontario. And the scoreboard in behind them has a bit of an oops. Oh, wait a second. Never mind. I'm reading it the wrong way. That's a baseball scoreboard. So third end scored 2, 2-1. Brilliant. Smart them, dumb me. All right. So Krista, intentionally or not, threw her first one into the top 4. That is not an uncommon thing to do in this kind of a scenario. Trying to see how the young Deschene will react. If she goes after it with a hit, you kind of trade rocks. Try to push them into having hammer in an odd end. They throw up the corner guard, then you could throw the center, so on and so forth. It's basically making Abby make a decision. Okay, c'est la vie. Now we play back down the middle again and see what the cards doth bring us. Sarah Potts with her second rock at the end. 2 ways to force Deschene to have hammer in the odd ends. 1 being a blank, 2 being take another point. So here's the center guard. You might also say that this sheet's a little bit straighter than you might commonly see in a slam. So throwing the rock in the house first and the guard second actually makes the execution a slight bit easier because you're not trying to paper the guard to fully bury it. So a little bit of savvy curling there. Abby electing to ignore everything down the middle and try to set up her 2 by using her corner guard. Kenzie Daly working this one hard. But they're by. Good sweep. I just gotta stick around anywhere behind it. You always prefer it above T-line, but hey, it's buried under the corner guard. Nice shot. You got room for a second one if you wish. Krista electing to pile on to the I'm going to steal this end plan. Throw another rock down the middle. Here's his top 4 foot covered. Why not make it uglier? Looking for just over the hog line. Try to bite the center. Pretty good. That's a decent amount of distance. You would have liked that to be 2 or 3 feet higher, but that's a pretty hard double peel. Abby's just going up there to get rid of 1. See if you get any other good outcomes, but get rid of a blue guard. Plunk. Goodbye, blue. Out goes the red. Keeping it as another corner wouldn't have been a terrible thing, but you didn't want to leave it down the center, so that's a well-executed peel. Krista says, I want that back. Throw it there again. Let's see if Ashley has repeat process twice in the bank. Easy sweep. Looking to get it over to the center. Nicely done. Little bit higher on the center line. Let's all be shocked and bedazzled. Oh, Abby's going for the peel. A little bit higher up so that red corner guard's not in danger. Definitely no double peel without likely leaving your own shooter there anyway, so get rid of it. Simple peel. Bang. Blue in the corner, red in the corner, rinse and repeat. All right, Kendra's turn to see how good you are at throwing a guard 2 feet over the hog line. Not the kind of shot you practice a ton, so it's more nerve-wracking than it seems. Looking to throw probably about a 19 on this thing. Looking pretty good. Sweepers like it. And Kendra says, haha, Ashley, I see your guard, and repeat it. It's almost exactly the same place. There's a little divot there or something. All right. Abby thinking this is not improving the situation any. So she's going to change gears a little bit and say, well, maybe we can get rid of this middle blue one, which gives us a path out the one in the house. They are discussing whether the blue will jam on the red. It's pretty steep. That would actually be a really hard jam. I don't think you can do it without hitting the front one. Emma looking to hold it out, get it just past the front one. There you go. Catch the blue. Bye, blue. Bye-bye, blue. All right. Slightly different outcome. Krista's still just going to try to throw that one back in there, but at least you've changed it up a little bit. That guard's high enough that you, on a super swingy arena sheet, might think you can get around to that one in the top four with the out turn. Not sure this sheet will allow you to do that, but we'll see. Krista trying your darndest to put this back exactly where the last one was. Looks a hair light for that. That was a nice guard. Again, if this was an arena sheet, maybe you try going after the one in the house, but it's definitely not an option this evening. So, peel the guard again. You did get that one over enough that it's not fully hiding the rock in the house. So maybe an opportunity comes out. Straight back. All right. Two blues in the corner. Still a center guard. At least it's yours now, I suppose. Kind of looks the same as after the last rock, so Krista will probably throw another guard very similar to the last. It's a little bit more important now because that red rock, if they were to take on the epically long raise, is a red rock. So, same kind of thing. A couple feet short of the house, blue guard. Chris is able to throw two more guards. There's a real good chance of a steal here. If all things go crazy, there is a long yellow angle raise. Chance for two in that play, but definitely not number one on Abby's to-do list. Still trying to get a half mistake out of Krista. Sweeper's on it fairly early. Certainly not going to overthrow us into the house. Just got to get at least a piece under the red. 1911. So yeah, those high guards are probably 20. That's a tricky shot to throw. But that's an excellent guard. So, Abby's electing to outdraw that one, which is perfectly fine. Get a skips deuce. Try to wrap this one around and maybe get a miss out of Krista and draw the other side for two. Smile for the camera. All right. Abby with an out-turn draw, trying to be full for as much buried as possible. She does have the most positive release out of everyone on the sheet this evening, so her path will be slightly different. Past the guard. Not overly heavy. Keep it going, keep it going. All right, there's some merit in that. It's hittable to get rid of the blue. The other red comes into play to get rid of the blue. Krista will probably have to play that. Well, she could throw the guard as long as she's willing to leave that long run back. Be interesting to see if Abby's willing to take that on this early in the game. It would be a shot for probably 2, possibly 3. But the draw to the 4-foot on the other side for 1 would be the more prudent option. So Krista's basically looking to force that choice here. If she gets deep enough, maybe she takes the hit and the run back away. But where she was tapping, it's more just to make sure that that rock can't be hit. All right, out, turn, guard, plug the hole. All right, well, that takes the obvious hit of the red onto the blue away. I don't think they can see enough of it for that slash. So here you go. You have the choice of that run back, red into blue, or you could just play the in-turn draw. Temptation here being conceptually you could get 3. Unlikely you don't lose one of the reds because you got to hit this one pretty thin into that blue in the house. So it's pretty much a play for 2, all things considered. Much harder than the draw for 1. But maybe you're saying, hey, I'm playing Krista Scharf, a.k.a. Krista McCarville. I got a chance for 2. I darn well better take it. That can be part of the equation. Having just thrown the draw, I don't think confidence in drawing is the problem. I think this is just chasing an opportunity. So we're looking for about a 7/8, big 3/4, run back for 2. Possibly 3 if everything goes brilliantly. Looking a hair thin. Ooh, gonna get lucky. Oh, almost got a sneaky backside. But as much as they tickled the blue, they didn't get it out. That's a steal of 1 for Krista Scharf. 3-2-1 for Team Blue. We'll be right back.
Ontario's mining sector is a global leader, and Agnico Eagle is proud to be at its heart. As Canada's largest gold producer, we operate world-class mines like Detour Lake and Macassa, creating thousands of jobs and driving billions in economic activity. But our impact goes beyond production. We foster a culture of the heart, investing in communities, supporting social development, and partnering with Indigenous groups to build lasting relationships and shared prosperity. We're shaping a future where Ontario remains a powerhouse in responsible resource development, strengthening the economy and enriching lives for generations to come.
Come on into Montana's, where there's a deal every day. Why not try half-price wings Mondays, $5 tacos Tuesdays, all-you-can-eat ribs Wednesdays, $25.99 platters Thursdays, and drink deals every day. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome back, everybody. We're rolling on into the 5th end. Krista Scharf stealing 1 and 4 with a very patient and crafty end. So she has the 3-1 lead. Kudos to her. I'll take a quick moment to shout out to all the hardworking people behind the scenes here at Curling Stadium and Curling Zone. I'm not going to roll through all their names, but there's a significant list of hardworking people that make sure that the games are streaming and the cameras are moving and rolling, and all of us chatty people are doing a good job. So kudos to the whole background crew. All right, Krista chose to switch things up a little bit and threw the center guard this time, as opposed to into the house. The obvious, or the most obvious rationale there is the end choice. So we're now into an odd end, which means she has the hammer in the even end. Therefore, hey, no need to try to chase a blind or something along those lines. So she threw a center guard, or typical. Deschene came back with a very nice draw around it. Now it looks like Krista's going to chase that draw. She did indicate possibly running or tapping back the middle one. Woo! There wasn't a piece of paper there. Nice counter draw. Abby looking to re-corner that back. This is flashbacks to my years in juniors. Slightly straighter sheets, so corner freezing. A nice shot on the top of the house is a good defense. There's a good look at the clocks. 26 minutes for Team Deschene, 25 odd minutes for Team McCarville. That's plenty of time. They get 38 minutes each, I do believe, for a 10-end game. So if you split that in two, that's 19 minutes. I'm willing to bet they're not going to burn 6 or 7 minutes each in this end, so they're going to have plenty in the bank for the second half of the game. Abby's counter freeze comes up a little bit shy and crashes on the front one. Looked like it was pretty good weight, but didn't quite get past the guard. So we got a bit of a mess building here early in the fifth end. Ashley looking to add to the pile. They do have to figure out a plan to deal with the shot rock, which is red. At the same time, with the end being odd, forcing one would be perfectly good in their playbook. Oh, they're also going to chop off that front guard, but it is making the center kind of ugly and messy. That's a really good rock to be able to play into those middle two. Abby recognizes that and says, we are not going to leave this rock here. The old language is a opponent's rock in the control zone. Don't leave it there. So, hit and kind of flop underneath everything. And the secures your one, trying to set up a chance for your two. Maybe a draw late in the game, and see how it plays out. Step one, get rid of the scary blue. Alright, scary blue gone. Roll underneath the middle blue. That takes the obvious raise away from Krista Scharf. Nicely done. Let's manage the shot. Krista kind of rolling through the deck of options, both for herself and for Abby. Not a huge fan of that red one on the screen right, because that's a fairly makeable slash to sit two. So Krista, in her common world of caution and defense, is just going to get rid of that red one. Roll towards the middle. You could technically go straight back with it and take the red off the can. She did indicate roll inside, but let's see how it plays out. There you go. Kind of spread the guard world around. Did kind of open up that middle red. There you go. You got straight back with the red, and you might actually end up sitting a really cute buried two. So Krista was not looking to have that blue one bounce quite that far. All right, opportunity, Deschene. Just a little bit off nose, and you get rid of the blue, and you end up sitting two. Emma wants to sweep, but just gotta wait for it. There we go. Oof. Ugh. Well, you are shocked. You did free up the forefoot, but that could have been a little, well, I guess maybe. You didn't miss that blue one by much, so I would call that pretty good. You're sitting top 8, you're sitting shot, you got guards to play around. Krista could try the draw, not generally her wheelhouse to get aggressive like that. You can see she's trying to figure out what hit to play. Yeah, Abby would have had to get really tight to that blue one to have done that better. So, call that the right outcome. All right, Kendra Lilly looking for clean up the front. A couple of different ways this could play out. We go blue back into the red. Oh, almost. Could have played blue-red on the front ones. Could have. I don't know if she could have got much of that red one, but it was a possibility. Door opened up now. Abby can choose her side and try to wrap this one around into the top of the forefoot. Seem to be a bit undecided. This could end up being a preferred turn for the thrower, or perhaps you read one side of the sheet being swingier than the other. We have seen these interns curl reasonably hard in earlier ends, so that could be the reason for this choice. There's a blue run back on either side, so that's not a big driver in this. Maybe you're trying to set up a catch on that back blue. End of the day, you just want this buried in the forefoot. Or bounce off the front blue. Oops. Well, that falls in the bucket of bad. That was a great opportunity that was just missed on the sweep. It wasn't heavy, so they weren't trying to save that. They just needed to get it past that guard. Maybe that in-turn swoop caught her by surprise. All right. Krista saying, to heck with all this mess. Let's beat them with a draw. Going to the out turn, trying to get in the forefoot. Lily's second shot coming down. Sweepers seem to like it. On and off, on and off. It's got a long way to go. A long way to go. It's not heavy, which is good. Lock it in, girls. Go, 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 go. Nice draw. Nice draw. Abby's in a bit of a pinch all of a sudden. There's straight back with the blue. You could freeze it, then Krista likely just guards something. So the upside of the straight back is even if you don't necessarily move the blue, Krista will have to replace the guard. Because you're opening up a chance of giving up 2 or 3 if you don't. This was a good option. Try to double it out. It's pretty close to nose for the double. Yeah. Alright. Got away with moving, 4 rocks there. Opened up the front. Did open up their front red one, but that blue kind of in the back 8 takes a bit of the hitability away from that one. So Krista's in a little bit of a pinch. You can try to hit that red over top of the back blue. You can try to throw a guard. It's kind of where she's leaning, the safe shot of guard your blue. The risk is reasonably low. There's not a lot of opportunities for 2 right now for red. The only real obvious one if this guard goes up well is that kind of red-red slash. That's a hard shot for 2. I'd be happy to give her that one. So, Krista looking to throw the guard dead in front of her blue. About a halfway guard. Alright, Krista's throwing a lot of these simple draws, so she's got to be comfortable with this weight. My guess is somewhere around 18.5. Let's see how good my powers of a front end are. Looks a bit warm. 17.6. There you go. A little deeper than she originally tapped, but pretty darn close. So I was a little bit off of my guesstimate, but hey, brilliant draw. Or guard, sorry. Deep enough that Abby's going to try this again. You do risk hitting your own. But right now, you're just trying to figure out how to make sure you score. So, just a little bit on the center line side. You'll double that one off the 4-foot and possibly leave a good guard on your own. Try not to mess that side of the house up too much. So here we go. Run back, take out to sit 1. Yeah, speed wobble. What was the recovery like? Wow. All right. Talk about making the most out of a bad opportunity. Not only did she clear the front, she actually jammed her own and brings a 3 into play. That's going to make Krista a little bit uncomfortable. So that cute little blue in the back just saved their bacon and brought a whole new opportunity out to bear. All right, that changes the narrative quite a bit for Krista. If that blue one was still there, the guard is the obvious call. Now that's kind of scary because if she figures out how to get the blue one out of the house, it's 2 or 3. So it looks like Krista's just going to throw one into the top 8 and say, okay, fine, you've earned 1. So if she gets this partly under that blue guard, closer to the 4-foot than that red at the back, it's pretty much a force through a wide open. Key here being you need to be second shot. Sweeper's getting ready, being cautious. Keep the line clean. They seem to like it. 16. It's a pretty good number for this path. Didn't curl like they were after, so now they're trying to get it the heck away from that other blue one. Well, isn't that a bit sneaky? Not a textbook double, but certainly makeable double. That was just overthrown. If that's 2 feet higher, it's an absolutely exceptional shot. As it is right now, it is a very distinct chance for 3. Hit the high blue first. Come down onto the bottom blue, have it zip underneath that other red, and hope your shooter doesn't go shooting up out the top. So let's see what weight she chooses for this. All right, exciting last shot here in the 5th end coming up. Looking for a double for 3. Let's see what we got. Yep, she says. Emma trying her hardest. What do they got? What do they got? There's 1, there's 2. Oh, and the shooter was zipping out, but that's 2 in the bank. Great shot. Tie game after 5. We'll be right back.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Come on into Montana's, where there's a deal every day. Why not try half-price wings Mondays, $5 tacos Tuesdays, all-you-can-eat ribs Wednesdays, $25.99 platters Thursdays, and drink deals every day. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
There's just something about this place. There's a beauty that you really have to experience for yourself. It's a perfect place to escape, all while staying connected. From one season to the next, you'll find exactly what you're looking for here. This is North Bay, and you should be here.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Well, everybody, after 5 ends, this has been fairly close back and forth between 2 teams, both throwing up a few unforced errors and the counter shots taking advantage of it, as seen even in that double there. Deschene waiting it out and getting their chance for 3. Only got their 2, but hey, tie game. 3-3 after 5. I can't wait to see what the last 5 ends bring. We'll be right back.
Surrounded by beauty on every side, this is a place where you can get away from it all, or be right there in the center of everything. Arts, sports, entertainment, a vibrant culture. This is North Bay, and it is exactly where I want to be.
Come on into Montana's, where there's a deal every day. Why not try half-price wings Mondays, $5 tacos Tuesdays, all-you-can-eat ribs Wednesdays, $25.99 platters Thursdays, and drink deals every day. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Ontario's mining sector is a global leader, and Agnico Eagle is proud to be at its heart. As Canada's largest gold producer, we operate world-class mines like Detour Lake and Macassa, creating thousands of jobs and driving billions in economic activity. But our impact goes beyond production. We foster a culture of the heart, investing in communities, supporting social development, and partnering with Indigenous groups to build lasting relationships and shared prosperity. We're shaping a future where Ontario remains a powerhouse in responsible resource development, strengthening the economy and enriching lives for generations to come.
Welcome back, curling fans. This is North Bay, Ontario, the Northern Ontario Provincial Qualifier. Kind of fun calling it a provincial qualifier when it's a half the province qualifier, but hey, still what it's called, still a lot of fun. 5 ends of good curling in the bank. As you can see by the scoreboard, it's a 3-3 tie. Both teams taking advantage here and there. First rock, back house. This could be counter to what we said a little while ago. Try to maybe push Krista into having hammer and audience, or maybe just let a little deep. When you come back from a break, it tends to be just a little slicker than you expect. That's one of those things that the pro teams tend to remember and the junior teams kind of go, "Oop, I forgot." Having said that, they're also watching this one rather intently, going, "Stop, stop, 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 stop." It did stop. All right. Both teams forgot that after the break, it tends to be a little quicker. All right. Deschene with the hit and roll in the plan. Let's see how it comes out. This is Emma Akers throwing the first 3 rocks. As we've discovered, the young Mia Toner is not able to play this game. Again, I don't actually know the why. I hope it's nothing too serious or complicated. But it does make Emma and Mackenzie do a lot more work. That is an excellent hit and roll. Obviously, you would like it to have been a guard, but that's not the way it works. Gravity and physics doesn't allow you to go backwards. So Krista looking for kind of the nose double. A roll to the wing would be okay, even if you don't get rid of 2 reds. Goal 1, get rid of a red. Goal 2, keep a blue in the house. Goal 3, get rid of both reds. What do we got? Red gone. Blue stayed. The red's still there. All right. 2 out of 3 boxes ticked. Abby looking for that same kind of idea. Hit and roll back towards the middle. So long as your red stays in the house, you're content. Bit of a goofy throw there. Seemed like she was sliding in and pushed it back and got a little extra on it. But blue gone. Didn't keep a red, but blue gone. All right. Equally, 1 out of 2 boxes ticked. Now comes the fun conversation. If you want to keep hammer in the even ends, go ahead and throw a corner. Try to get a 2 out of this. If you're content with just blank in the end and rolling into the next, that's fine too. I think Krista's going with the corner guard. Yes, indeed. Asking Ashley for a corner guard. Willing to put a little bit of risk on the plate to try to generate a 2. Still going. Please stop. This is going to be a guard. So there you go. Nice shot. Might have liked it to be a little bit farther off of the center line. If this upcoming guard is slightly past center, might make for a pretty darn small port to play through, given that that red one is off center. So I suspect Krista would like that to have been a rock or 2 farther away from center. But hey, it's a corner guard. Abby looking to put one down here on the center line. Just crossing over would be ideal. Sweeper's working like crazy to get it there. Well, it's long and it's a center guard. The one in the house is wide open. Mostly wide open. Considering she's trying to roll under the corner guard, that guard on the center line is not of any consequence. Now you might say, hey, that means you had the ice wrong. But in reality, if that rock had 6 feet more weight to it, it would have crossed center and properly covered that red one. So just a bit light. Ashley Sipple looking for a nice quiet weight hit and flop under their corner. She put it there with intent. See if she can use it. Through the port. Hit the red. Half buried. That's a really nice shot. They can get at it. Tough to see that sticking under the center guard. You can see with the tap of her heel, they're going to do this with a real quiet hit weight. Hack the board to try to roll underneath of the guard. Certainly to keep your rock in play. Mackenzie with the in-turn hit. A little bit on the heavy side. There's the flip over. See if we can't milk some curl out of this. Through the port. Hit the blue. Stick around, stick around, stick around. Oof, not quite. Just a bit too thin. Krista kind of has only two choices here. Go around the center guard, which isn't her own, or she could technically peel the center guard, but then that's kind of going down that path of blanked end again and moving into the odd ends and yada yada, so I like this. Top four, under the center guard, because it's long. Not too concerned about a run back when it's that far out front of the house. Alright, Kendra looking to basically bite the top four. Ashley on the early sweep, trying to hold the line. Looks like they're past the guard, but it's not heavy. Don't want to give Shane two center guards. There we go. All right. I was a bit jumpy there. Perfect top 8. 3/4 buried. Ashley's going to be tempted into trying that run back. Bit of a hard play on this. That's a long rock. You could corner freeze it. Yes, you can draw a shot. There's enough curl that if you go back 4, you could be mostly buried. Then Krista will have to chase you back with a freeze. And then maybe you freeze that one back again. This corner freeze is the kind of vintage 90s play. As long as you got a piece of that blue one covered, then you can get rid of it with a later rock. I'm on it quickly and then thinking, oh, no, this is actually closer than I think. Also hanging out there a little bit. It's got a long way to go. These interns tend to be the swingier of the two. Key here is make sure you stay in front of the blue, even if it's not fully, well, it's a little too high in front of it, but you didn't want to be right beside it kind of a thing. Anyways, call that, a third of a shot. You can use that rock. Krista's now going to come the other side and tap her own up. Probably not swingy enough for that. You can freeze your own, plug the hole, something down this outturn side to sit to. The idea would be to tap your own straight back into the can. I just don't know if there's enough curl there for it. Certainly trying. Certainly trying. All right, well, you're sitting 2. Both of them fairly buried. Hitting the front blue is not going to double out the back one. That red that they just threw is kind of on the option board, but it doesn't look great with that stagger. So odds are they'll play this just to get rid of a blue and Maybe keep a shooter in the outside of the house. Look for a better angle on the next chance. You got half a rock. You're only going to get one blue out, and your shooter's going to roll at least some to there as we see it right. You certainly wouldn't be able to get to nose for a double with any semblance of weight. Well, let's see. They're not overthrowing it. That's a good thing. Board weight's what they're after. I just can't see this sheet giving you enough curl for anything other than get one blue out. Or that was unfortunately the wrong way to miss that. Krista can throw anything down that same path again, and they are getting in dangerous land of giving up 3. If you could just bite the house, 3/4 buried again, Deschane's going to be in a big world of hurt. Goal 1, plug that hole. Goal 2, maybe nibble the house to set 3. That little chip of the blue even took a lot of power out of that raise, because even if you can raise double, but that's a pretty tricky shot. All right, Krista looking to fill up that space. Certainly past the guard. It's coming down nicely. Don't think they're going to bite the house, but hey. You might even say that over curl the whisker. I think they'd have preferred that to be sticking out a couple inches farther to take some of that port away, to be usable on the next shot if you need to bail out. But such is life. Abby with her last is basically going to have to do a run back of some sort. Do it right. You make the double and you sit 1. Worst case scenario, get rid of one of the blues and then you're only giving up 2. So this is where Krista probably would have liked that last shot of hers to at least bite the house. Because then a run back, the shooter rolls out, you're still getting, a decent crack at a 3. Double and roll out, you got to draw for a 2, so on and so forth. Anyways, in the past, Abby Deschene looking for a run back double takeout. Pretty close to nose. There's that pop delivery we've gotten used to seeing. I think she overdid it a bit. It's kind of running there. Yep. Just a hair wide of her target, but does get rid of a blue. Wide open draw for 2, available for Krista. And boy, does she wish that was biting the house right now. Oh well. Went into the 6th end with hammer, and at the start of the end, you would have said, hey, scoring 2 is what we're after, and scoring 2 is what you've done. Well, assuming this one gets it in the house. All right, last rock of the 6th end, Krista looking to draw any kind of paint for 2. Sweepers on quickly. Going coast to coast. Looking pretty good. Come on. Ooh, guard's coming into play. Past the front. Past the second. Nicely into the house. That is 2 on the board for Krista Scharf. 5-3 after 6. We'll be right back.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys, I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait, do you smell that?
There's just something about this place. There's a beauty that you really have to experience for yourself. It's a perfect place to escape, all while staying connected. From one season to the next, you'll find exactly what you're looking for here. This is North Bay, and you should be here.
Come on into Montana's, where there's a deal every day. Why not try half-price wings Mondays, $5 tacos Tuesdays, all-you-can-eat ribs Wednesdays, $25.99 platters Thursdays, and drink deals every day. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Welcome back, everybody. We're rolling along here nicely in the Deschene match. You can see the clocks up there. This is a provincial qualifier, so every game is timed by officials. You have 38 minutes for an entire match, 10-in match. At the half, you want to have about 19-20 minutes in the bank, so after 6 ends, having 19 minutes definitely means you're doing good. 17, perfectly happy. Kudos to both teams for managing their time. Last end, a little bit of sloppy from both teams. A couple of tiny little oopses, but hey, Krista Scharf pulls off the 2. Textbook plan for a 6th end. Scharf. Wow. I just had to totally check myself there. Krista Scharf. Whoosh. Anyways. Tongue untwisted. Away we go. Okay. So, first rock, top house. Second rock, corner guard. This is, again, the way Krista tends to play odd ends. Well, I don't know. That might have been a mistake, because I was going to say, she did that before, but she did that in even ends, trying to push the opponent to having hammer and odds. So, maybe they're just saying, we got a 2-point lead. Maybe they're just throwing them in to say, let's burn some time, make you make some choices. Throwing 2 in the top like that is not uncommon when you have a lead late in the game. Kind of forces the opponent to decide what they're willing to live through. He says, you know what? I don't really like this going on here. I got a corner guard. Let's try to roll underneath of it. Some people would draw under the corner guard and say, I'm going to leave these 2 blues alone and double them out later, because they are definitely doubleable. But she's electing hit and roll. There's hit. That's overroll. But there's 1 less blue. Krista cannot hit that guard yet. So, let's put another one back up. Likely trying for the guard, not tight to their other one again. I would suggest that was a bit of an overthrow on Sarah's second. She's used this technique once before. First one in, second one guarded. Keeper saying it's a little warm. Right about there. All right, pretty close. Pretty close. You can actually roll your shooter on. So there's a bit of a tiny oops. It's not the easiest shot to roll that one on, but you can do it. That's what they're going to attempt. Get rid of the guard and maybe get a red counter in the house. It's looking really close. Over curling a bit. Maybe the double. 1, 2. Sweeping the wrong blue. Go, 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 go. Oh, no, that's the right one. Didn't quite get it out. All right. 1 blue out of the 4-foot. 1 blue in the corner. Did leave a center guard. That was the unfortunate in that scenario. You really don't want center guards. So Krista is just going to try to put the blue back into the 4-foot. That little nibbler. That might come back to haunt you later this end. But that's still 10 rocks to go. Yeah, these interns tend to have some nice bite to them, so we're trying to milk a little extra curl out of it. Go, 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 go. Nice draw to the 4-foot. Half open, a little less than half. The center guards the worst rock out of the 2, so they're going to play something with it. Nice thing is it's your own color, so running it back gives you lots of potential outcomes. McKenzie on the throw, Emma on the sweep. Emma's on it right away. Not a lot of weight for this. Not going to get a lot of it. All right. Okay. Okay. Making the most out of it. I don't know if split was their call. It was not quite what I was first picturing when she was signaling down to the front end, but that was actually a really crafty shot. You're now sitting second and third. Krista's not inclined to leave that alone, so she'll hit the open one and leave her 4-foot rock open. And there's a nice cute little hit and roll available off of that one, so this could really easily turn into a 2 in the bank for Deschene if Scharf's not careful. But Krista's sticking to her roots and being cautious. Hit the open red. Sarah's working to keep it one line. Ooh, whoa. That was a bit of an oversweep. Rolls out. She still does have that other blue in the back, but it is third, so that was a bit of a costly mistake. So now Deschane's going to look to hit and roll underneath of her own and end up sitting 2 out of all of this. Quite the spin around considering what it looked like 4 rocks ago. Alright, little roll. And we're working it, trying to keep the line. Bye-bye blue. There's the little roll. What a nice shot. Over buried under the red. Red's sitting 2. Krista's likely going to take a run at the double because that front red one is certainly in play. The house team, the throwing team's not a huge fan of this call. Seemed a bit like they were thinking. All right. Switching gears a little bit and going to the highest rock. Still looking to get rid of at least 2 red. I didn't mind where Krista was going with her thought, but maybe it didn't look so good to the throwers. So, simplify it, get rid of the long red one, and hopefully one of the other 2 red ones. Well, got rid of a red. Not so sure that improved their situation any. Brings the junior deuce into play. Split the house, sit 2 red. Force Krista to chase the wide open one. Try to trade a couple of rocks and get your easy 2. Ooh, don't see that too terribly often. Abby coming out to give a hand of sweeping. The joy of only having one sweeper. Don't want to exhaust anybody. But she was a little bit jumping the gun. That was an excellent throw by Mackenzie. Perfectly splitting the house. Krista has no choice but to kind of hit the open one. Try to move the rock towards the other one. In this case, you do your darndest to group the rocks together and hope a double appears on your last one. Hit and roll to the other side of center. Not too far over center, but closer. Then you hope Abby noses it, and then you likely have a chance at a double. That's kind of the thought process here. Goal 1, hit the red one. Again, a rollout's not horrifically problematic because Abby will likely just throw it back where it was. But hit and roll just across center line's the plan. There's the hit. Right there. And there you go. Overrolled, not shot rock. Not a huge problem. Still leaves Abby having to decide how to set up her 2. I can't see them getting too carried away. Theoretically, you could try something on those back 2 to try to bring into a split for 3 or 4. This kind of falls in that camp of, do you want to take a shot at Krista? Do you think a bit of gamble is worth trying to muster a 3? You can play around that center guard. And there you go. So they're basically choosing to throw a little bit of risk into the game to try to generate a 3. Being tied with Krista Scharf, aka McCarville. Not the most comfy place in the world with 3 ends left and her having hammer and 2 of them. So they're going to try to build their 3. The other thought they had was to do the outturn freeze to the back blue, which is also an option. Nope, never mind. Her broom placement fooled me. She's just going to split the house and set up the 2 for the tie. They had talked about possibly trying for a 3. She's fooled me more than once, considering that she has such a prominent positive release. Nice. Split of the house. Krista has no choice but to hit it. Fun little fact, a lot of teams will actually have multiple releases in order to decide what to do in what spot. So do you throw your 2-inch set release, your 1-inch set, you're at the broom, or your slight dump, or so on and so forth. Abby has a fairly decent 2 to 3-inch set on her throws, which makes them appear to run straighter, a little less ice, so on and so forth. She's fooled me more than once. Shame on me. All right, here we go. Krista trying to hit and basically stick to try to possibly sneak her way into a force of 1. Nope. Little thin again. Doesn't change much. That leaves the draw for 2. Deschene can have her choice of turns, choice of paths, throw the exact same shot again, switch it into the forefoot, so on and so forth, choosing to go with exactly the same thing because they just threw it and read it. Rinse and repeat, attempt for 2. A little bit different release there. There's that set. You can see how she had her broom inside of the center line, but she actually threw the rock outside of the center line, so that's kind of what I was getting at. Very distinct set to her throw. Needs brakes. Needs brakes. Stopping. 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 All right. It stopped. There you go. 2 on the board for red. That's a 5-5 tie after 7. We'll be right back.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of...
Welcome back, everybody. We're rolling along here, moving into the 8th end. We have a 5-5 tie. Deschene and Scharf. Scharf with hammer in 8 and 10 if things play out. So, red managed to get their guard to stay as a guard. You've seen a shocking number of oopses by the leads this game in those guards. But that one was a must make, and it's there. Okay, cool. Krista also throws up the corner guard. Okay, cool. And away we go. Well, I got a little bit of airtime. I'm going to say thanks to Matt and Jerry for running the cameras in the background. So, Deschene has elected to play a tap. Sneaky little move. The ice isn't curling enough for traditional tight guard draw around. You would have been half open. So, she plays the tap. Krista can't go after it because of the free guard zone rule. Unfortunately, they would have loved that to be, call it 2 feet farther. Biting the 4 in a nice straight line would have been lovely. Krista's perfectly fine to ignore that for now and go underneath the corner guard she threw. Pass the guard. Walking it into the house. Shot rock was not necessary, but nice to have. Bit of a tight call between them, whichever is shot. Too early in the end for me to actually care at this point. Abby electing to just throw a corner freeze on that. Well, the only no-no here is don't be heavy and don't be drastically light. Anywhere playably in front of it is a nice way to throw this. Cut that side of the house off, so on and so forth. Looks a little toasty. Bouncing off his bed. I should bounce off super hard into the back of the forefoot under the corner or under the center guard. All right, call that a happy accident because that was definitely not the plan. Worked out not bad. They are definitely shot 1 and 2 and have a center guard, so Krista's got to play cleanup. All right, Ashley looking to move 2 reds. Preferably not leave a guard. What do we got? What do we got? 1. Ooh, skinny's over that other red one. But hey, the red guard gone. Plan A accomplished. Abby's looking to make this guard a little bit higher, so that run doubles a little bit harder. Mackenzie's no stranger to these guards. We've seen plenty of them thrown by now. Poor Emma's like, oh, sweet jeez. Can we not be heavy on this one? But no, we cannot be. Thankfully, Mackenzie decided to come and help. Because it is definitely a long guard. But it's a good guard. So a bit of a Christmas tree there. You can see a little piece of all of them, which makes life difficult for Krista, so get rid of it. Ashley on the peel. Simple little clean. Bye-bye ready. Now, subtle advantage to Abby. That's a couple of rocks out of sequence, out of play. Every rock in the corner is beneficial for her because she's sitting 2. She throws the center guard back up again. Hoping to eventually goad Krista into a harder shot and maybe tighten the screws on the steel. But step 1, throw a good center. This one's heavier than the last. Emma's quietly saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Another good center guard. Fraction deep. That is definitely double peelable. Call that one 4 feet, 5 feet too deep. Kendra looking to move 2 reds. Sarah on the early sweep. On off, on off. What do we got? What do we got? 1, 2. Ooh, almost tickled the third one. All right. Pretty good. Didn't leave a complete center guard. Got 2 reds moving. Almost got 3 reds moving. Abby is still shot. Gonna throw up another guard. Opportunities have swung. That was a really nice shot by Kendra. Suddenly a 2 is back in play. Emma's got to sweep this one. Gotta get it going. Gotta get it going. Come on. A little farther. A little farther. All right. Back to the long guard. It's still a guard. Emma's probably going to be very happy for a pillow later this evening, but 2.5 more ends to go. Okay, Krista is thinking, let's just tap this one. Now the question is, can you get enough curl and tap the red to third or fourth? I see no reason why not. It's not quite fully buried. You've got, I don't know, call it 12, 15 feet space between those two. To the righty in the hack, that's pretty much perfectly buried. This is a tricky one. Now, of course, the pro side is hit the guard out front. Pro side meaning the safe way to miss this. So looking for kind of hack weight. Skinny past the front guard, tap the red as far back as you can, and try to sit two. Working on making some curl. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Nice shot. Nice shot. And suddenly, blue sits two. Now, there is a hit and roll available. The rock will still be deep. So Abby will want this to be a little bit more buried. Call it over buried. Kind of halfway in between the red and the blue guards. If she doesn't roll far enough, she basically leaves the exact same shot for Krista. So looking for 3-foot roll right basically dead onto the center line. Do that and you're making a really good play at a force of 1. Deep enough in the 4 that steel is not in the bank when you're playing someone like Krista, but hey, a force of 1 in the 8th end is a great setup. All right, blue rock's leaving, red rock's rolling. Stop right there. Nice shot, nice shot. All right, over buried from both perspectives. So Krista could play the blue run back. Krista could freeze to it. Krista could go top 4. Top 4 would be ideal over freeze to it, but at least if you're frozen to the back one, you're counting. So that's what we're going with. Try to be top button. Have to be shot here. The oops would definitely be kind of top 8 second, because that's then going to play almost like a guard. Got to be shot. The pro side is a little heavy in freezing the back one. Yes, Abby will have the freeze back, but at least you're shot and making her play that. Sweepers seem to like it. They're keeping their brooms busy, but they don't look like they're killing themselves over it. Okay, I take that back. She's late. It didn't look like they were overdoing it, but yes, that was definitely late. Okie dokie. Distinct opportunity now. Abby's basically just gotta sit 2. Fully in the 4 would be ideal. Bare minimum sit 2. If you're even a quarter buried, then there's no clear double. Let's call it a third buried, because then it's basically going over the top. So, looking for at least of a third rock buried, sitting 2. If line is wonderful, drag it right underneath everything into the top 4. And has had a view of a lot of draws this end, so she should have a good read. Switching over to the make it curl side. 14-8. Whoop. Don't. I would say she had the right weight, but it just hung out there with that release of hers, and they were a little late on getting Emma over to the side to try to work the curl. Now, the good news is the way they bounced that blue one has really kind of mucked up that raise. Krista kind of had the raise, little, call it run back as well, to take her two. Now it's really kind of ugly with a whole bunch of sort of overlaps. So while Abby had a bit of a, all right then. Just looking at the comment line, Ashley's throwing Weiss and Tinder's throwing second. All right. Thanks for the update. A little hard to tell on these screens, so thank you very much to the chat line. All right, so last rock. Looking to probably just draw for the one. That stack out front didn't look promising. Certainly working it again. Got more weight than the last one. Got to get by the guard. All right, we're past the guard. Will it stop? Will it stop? It's looking close. Bounced off the back one. Just a small chap off. That's a steal of one for Abby Deschene and friends. That's a 6-5 lead after 8. We'll be right back.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate.
Surrounded by beauty on every side, this is a place where you can get away from it all, or be right there in the center of everything. Arts, sports, entertainment, a vibrant culture. This is North Bay, and it is exactly where I want to be.
Welcome back, everybody. This game just keeps getting more and more interesting. That was another back and forth end with some small part misses. A distinct oops by Krista on her first draw. Opportunity turned into tragedy. Steal of one by Deschene. Still a tight match, anybody's game. Krista most likely thinking, okay, let's get out of this one with a blank. But hey, you never know. So she goes to her corner guard routine. She's been pretty consistent with that. Deschene through the center guard. Very nice. Not quite as tight as last time, so she's got room to get underneath of it. So let's see how this plays out. Thanks again to the chat line for holding me honest. It can be a bit tricky to tell all the bodies apart. I'm not live in North Bay myself. So yes, Ashley Sipa is playing or throwing Vice Rocks. Kendra Lilly is throwing second stones. Good. Thank you very much. All right. This is an excellent draw. Emma's just been on fire these last couple of ends. Brilliant guard and draw pair. Just goes to show that if you have enough room and spot on weight control, you can get enough curl to bury. Sarah Potts being asked to basically weld this one onto it. Alright, a little bit of separation there, but the red one's in the open. So that's opportunity later on the tee line. Frozen was what they were kind of after, but pushing it deep like that's not a bad outcome. Abby asking Emma to move that blue one out of play. You can just see the whole thing, so they're looking for kind of a hack to board. Through the house, roll away. Just to say, all right, well, let's roll back in under. Good opportunity to roll semi-frozen. That's also an option. Hit and roll under the corner guard. I didn't mind the first one because you end up frozen on theirs and they get to play with the guard. This is a really nice outcome, but you do have to play with the guard a little bit. But to get the roll right, it shouldn't be a problem. Team having a long sheet debate. They've settled on hit and roll under the corner. We threw a corner. Let's make use of it. I got no problem with that. All right, so this is Kendra throwing. A for B for getting that sorted out 9 ends into the game. Looking for a short roll under the corner guard. Pass the guard, hit the red, no roll, but red one gone. Edge on edge. Mackenzie being asked to basically do the same. Get rid of the blue. The early sweep, making sure they're past the guard. Nice weight control. Hit and stick. Maybe in an ideal world, you'd have rolled an inch to the left, closer to the center line, but blue gone. That was the plan. All right, Krista trying again to roll under the corner guard. Attempt number 2 by Kendra on this roll. Looking close. A bit of roll. Not quite far enough. It's hittable. And Abby can roll under that center. It'll even be above the tee line, so that's a great opportunity for them if they can pair the line and weight. Looking to hit and roll under the center guard right above the tee line. Bit thin, right there. All right, how about over there? All right, decent. They did end up setting up a double, and the could end up under the guard. Very much could end up with a perfect double and roll buried under the guard. That would be a brilliant shot. Just a whisker thin on that hit. All right. Ashley Cipolla looking for a brilliant double and roll. Hold the line. Hold the line. Ooh. Well, that was a good plan B. Went from double and roll under the center guard to single and roll across the house under the corner guard. That was a really nice roll. They can see a piece of it, enough to go after it. Opportunities, swapping back and forth here. It's gonna be close. Switching over to get a little bit of curl out of it. A lot of air on that guard. A lot of air on that rock in the house. Eesh. This island takeout. Opportunity swings profoundly into Krista's favor. All right. Back into this split the house for two scenario. Ashley looking to hit and roll actually a little bit away from center. Keep everything spread out. Maybe you can goad Abby into going after that same hit again. Unlikely, but maybe. There's the hit. Bite. All right, return favor. You were kind to me, I was kind to you. Well, Abby gets to take her shot at this part rock hit. Kind of where we're looking at this, you got a quarter of it, so you got more than enough to get the blue out. Hard to see you keeping the shooter in a great spot. And then the downside is it leaves Krista with an opportunity for a skip's deuce. She could easily wrap one around the center guard and say, to heck with all this business over here. So Abby was kind of over a barrel. I get the point of going after this hit, but you may have just wanted to go around the center yourself. Something for a conversation another day. All right. Looking to take a blue out of play. Trying to get the curl. Whee! Well, it wasn't a silent hit, but it wasn't an effective hit either. That was just a tough shot. Her strong pop release makes that so tricky. If I'm their coach, I may sit down later and say, hey, was that the right play there, or should we just went around the guard and ran the gamble that she has a blue in the house? But that's, as I say, in the past. So Krista's now looking to go around the middle one and set up a chance at a 3. If she hucks this one absolutely perfectly around the middle, you may see Abby just hit that blue one that she just tickled. She's got half of it on the other side. Anyways, see what Krista comes up with first. Looking for fully buried top 4-footish. Sweepers aren't a fan of the weight. Line's looking good. Krista's been kind of fighting her draw weight, but that's not bad. So here you go. Abby's got the choice of freeze that or hit the open one. This freeze does a good job of kind of forcing the one. You could technically hit it, but again, your shooter's going to go out of the house and she's going to have a free draw for 2. So this is a bit of a gut check. You take a hit and give them 2. I'm not opposed to that. You'd be down 1 with hammer in the 10th end. If you make this freeze brilliantly, then you're tied with hammer in the 10th end. If you bungle this a little bit, then you're down 2. Alright, looking for nose freeze. Anything kind of in front of it, out counting the other one. Got lots of air on the guard. Gotta get it over there a little bit. Gotta get the second shot. Looking like a really good throw. That's really well done. Krista's got no real choice but to throw the out-turn draw and outdo that red one. Nice shot by Abby. Good sweep, good call, good team shot. Worst case scenario, you're down 1 with hammer. Best case scenario, tied with hammer. Well done. There we go. Out turn draw for 2. Front end watching it. Not helping it, but staying close. Gotta be close. Gotta be close. Here they go. Hold the line. Woo! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gotta get past the other red. Chap off woodwork. Ooh! Get away with a kiss and a spin and a twist. That's 2 on the board for blue. 7-6 lead for Krista Scharf. Going into 10. We'll be right back.
Ontario's mining sector is a global leader, and Agnico Eagle is proud to be at its heart. As Canada's largest gold producer, we operate world-class mines like Detour Lake and Macassa, creating thousands of jobs and driving billions in economic activity. But our impact goes beyond production. We foster a culture of the heart, investing in communities, supporting social development, and partnering with Indigenous groups to build lasting relationships and shared prosperity. We're shaping a future where Ontario remains a powerhouse in responsible resource development, strengthening the economy and enriching lives for generations to come.
Come on into Montana's, where there's a deal every day. Why not try half-price wings Mondays, $5 tacos Tuesdays, all-you-can-eat ribs Wednesdays, $25.99 platters Thursdays, and drink deals every day. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome back, everybody. The Young Bucks, Abby Deschane's team, giving the stalwart Krista Scharf team everything they can handle. Going in the 10th end, exciting as can be. 1 point lead for Krista without hammer. Such is the way it plays. Krista coming along in her first one. Sliding it into the house. Rather shockingly, but hey, she's done that a couple of times. Don't know if that was their intention or not, but hey, rock back 4 can count, can also be very scary. Deschene throwing up the corner guard, needs 2 for the win. This has been a very epic back and forth game of oops misses, counter oops misses, and some opportunities. Kudos to Krista for making those 2 must-make draws to the 4-foot last end to keep this game tight and exciting. Uh-oh. Whoa. Woof. Woo. All right, we got a center guard. All right, it's just, but it is. Abby's going to make use of her corner guard for now. No time to panic with rocks down the middle. Being asked to draw underneath the guard she threw. She's done a commendable job of that all game long. Guard then draw, guard then draw. This one is just past the guard. Looking to stay above the tee. All right, whisker heavy, but buried under the guard. Good chance for a 2 with that. Nice way to start the setup. Krista's going to continue to clog the middle. We saw this a few ends ago. And it ends being a back and forth of trying to navigate guards. Now that rock being under the tee line will always be a potential get out of jail free card for Abby. She will have a draw no matter what, assuming nothing significant changes. Krista is going to be throwing center guards for at least a couple. She'll throw a center, they'll peel it off, she'll throw a center. That's typically how this plays out. Halfway center guard. Abby walking up. There's the sign for peel, hit and roll, however you want to phrase that. Get rid of the guard. Emma's last rock of the end coming along. One blue out of the play. Jiggle of reds. Does open her red one up to an out-turn hit, but Krista's not worried about that right now. Throw up another center guard. It'll be interesting to see if that out-turn hit comes into play later for a force to 1 and an extra end kind of play. But we got lots of rocks to go before that's worth considering. This guard's sliding a little deeper than they were after. Cross face, double peel. I even get a little bit of luck on the back one. All things being perfect, 3 blues could be moving. A lot of help from the sweepers. Gotta be a bit wide. 1 blue. Ooh, you can lose the red. Uh-oh. So much for worrying about the out-turn hit. All right. Opportunity presented for Krista. Here comes another guard. Still has the plight of her rock being under the tee line. What she wouldn't give for that to have been exactly the same on the other side in front of the tee line. But no undoing past mistakes. This is Asti Sipola's long guard attempt. Ooh, Krista's coming out to help. Gotta go, gotta go. And it went. Perfect long guard. Scary, scary throws. That's going to take the peeling play off the docket. And Abby's now thinking, well, peel the top one. She could try that peel the middle one again. She did a couple ends ago. Didn't really play out that well for her, but she could. Or she could go to the back one. She thought about it. Long run back is certainly in play. Krista maximized the distance on the run back. Second shot from Mackenzie Daly coming. One. Ooh, roll that. Ooh, why didn't they sweep that? That's a big problem. That red one's now cutting off the draw path. The red one on the other side's cutting off the draw path. And there's a blue guard. I'm not sure that could have caused them any more problems. Well, such is the way. Krista's going to throw up another guard. And then you may actually see Abby trying a double peel off of one of those red ones. That is a very scary problem rock they just threw up there. All right. Actually, another long guard. This one's a little deeper than the last, but still pretty good. There would be nice. If I'm Abby, I'm thinking I take the red one they just threw and use that as a rock to play with, because you really need to at least have that draw path for the tie. Mackenzie coming down for a conference. Emma's joining the party. They got plenty of time. You can kind of see the timer in the background. They're going to use the timeout anyway, but they got plenty of time. I assume they have a coach that's going to come and have a conversation with them. So, as it stands, huge advantage, Krista Scharf. If I'm their coach, I walk out there and say, one of those two reds has to go away because you have no draw path. I suppose technically you could get the intern draw around that high one, but it's not particularly inviting. The red to the left side, as you're seeing it above the word eagle, you could actually throw that one towards the one in the back of the 4-foot. If everything goes brilliantly, your sitting shot buried. Worst case scenario, that side's open for a draw. Possibly you double off that tight blue guard, which gives you some chances. I love the white sweater with the Deschene stamp on it. So it seems like they're picking the... Yeah, that's the one I would go after, right there. I would throw that one towards the one at the back of the 4-foot. Bare minimum, get rid of it so you have a potential draw path. I do think if you threw the intern draw perfectly with good sweeping, you could probably still draw enough of that 4-foot for shot. It's a pretty high guard, but they don't want to go there if they don't have to. Objective 1, get rid of the red one. Objective 2, get rid of one of the blue ones. All things being wonderful, stuff it on that back blue and your shot rock behind guard. 3 guards. No pressure, Mackenzie. Ammo on the sweep. Hold the line. That unfortunately accomplished none of the above and left the draw path plugged. That unfortunately gets filed in the bad bucket. Now, Krista's got a variety of choices. She knows what their main objective is, though it became a rock harder. So she is basically going to guard that one. A lot of ways you can do that. Anything in front of that red one kind of takes it away. But the only thing you don't want to do is freeze it aimed at your own. I say that because I've done that. What a way to lose to Mr. Molden. Freeze the guard aimed right at your own in the can. Alright, guard the red. Make Abby change plans. So she'll probably switch to the red one on the other side with the same kind of idea. This is all about leaving Abby the hardest shot you can, because she does have some choices. Ooh, sweepers are on it right out of her hand. Granted, it's got to be 1 foot over the hog line. Looking pretty good. Looking really good. Brilliant. You could crisscross those. You're just now switching to the inner quarter of the blue. Maybe Krista would have preferred that a foot higher. There wasn't a lot of real estate to work there. Or a couple inches closer to center line. Or the other way, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, no matter what you did, Abby was going to have choices. This increased the complexity. So now you're going blue across the red, across the blues. Don't leave your shoe there. Rain out release is kind of leaving them watching it. Little too full. Good news is you opened up the draw path. Bad news is that blue one further mucked up the other draw path. So really Krista just has to block that draw path, and they are going to be trying a really hard shot. Yes, that blue one that they moved curled far enough over and added, say, 3 inches to that in-turn draw, which I do think takes that hard possible draw out of play. I do think it was there before that rock ended up in the way. Anyways, Krista's looking to take this draw away. Somewhere tight to the house, center line side of the middle of that hole, covering the edge of the 4 foot basically. Yeah, right on the G of Eagle. Good choice. A little bit deeper takes the red long raise away. So if it's dead even with that blue under the G of Eagle, that's going to make Abby's life really hard. Looking pretty good. Looking really good. Well, the red raise is still there. That did good enough to take the obvious draw away. You could play an in off of that red one lower down, but that would be one skinny little in off. Not sure what their thinking's on that side. They may think that that draw's still there. Again, this is where that blue one sliding over hurt them, because the red guard was higher and closer to center, so that draw was there. Now it's going to be really tight to the guard, throw the right weight, sweep it well, and you should be able to get it there. Tough shot. We have seen a few of these interns bust really hard, so it's the best option she has. Everybody's got to do their job right. Judge the weight, call the line, the whole 9 yards. All right, she's going for the Adine, trying to coax some abrupt curl out of it. Well, full compliments for creativity. Unfortunately, the end didn't play out that well for them, and they do give up a steal of one, so that's an 8-6 victory for Krista Scharf and team. Thank you all for joining me here this evening. My name's Gord Copperthorne. This is Curling Stadium, and I certainly encourage you to join us time and time again for more exciting curling out of North Bay, Ontario. Have a great evening.
Come on into Montana's, where there is a deal every day. Why not try half-price wings Mondays, $5 tacos Tuesdays, all-you-can-eat ribs Wednesdays, $25.99 platters Thursdays, and drink deals every day. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.